Okay, so this video is going to cover Unit 1, which is on colonization, US history. This will be EOC review episode number 1. So let's begin. So the big idea to get from Unit 1 is that Columbian exchange played a major role in the foundation of American culture. So you have this assimilation of goods, resources between the Native Americans and also the colonists. And some of these products which are being exchanged back and forth are good, but some of them are bad, such as diseases. We have measles, we have chicken pox, which are being brought back to Europe with the colonists. So there are some good things, there are some bad things. And also that when these colonists, once they came to the United States, they formed new government, because in order to establish a body, you need to have a good foundation. So that was their goal. So as you can see, there are some really good items which are being transported back and forth from Europe to the America, and also between America and Africa. But also you will see some diseases such as smallpox, influenza, which are also transported back and forth. So how were the Dutch colonies different from other European colonies in America? So pause the video and try to answer the question on your own. Okay, so the answer is going to be B, that they were religiously tolerant, that they were accepting of other people. They allowed other people to live in their areas. Basically, they established peaceful relationships with each other between Native Americans, between other colonists, and also later on with the African Americans. So that's why they were different. So what were the reasons for colonization? So different countries colonized America, but the reasons were different. Okay, so some of the common reasons were because they wanted to establish profits, and the way they did so was through these joint stock companies. Also, they came to the America to escape religious persecution. In Europe, you had the English Civil War, which was happening, which was really violent. It killed thousands and thousands of people, and they couldn't sustain it anymore, so they came here. And also because of violence, as I said, and also because of poverty, and they wanted to gain new land. So all of these reasons were for the colonization of America. So with what colony is solitary neglect associated with? So as you can tell from the picture, he's a redcoat. It is associated with British, right? And what is solitary neglect, by the way? So solitary neglect is a policy which was practiced in the colony of British, in the colony of Britain. So the king was just a figure who was on top of the hierarchy, but he had no power. All the power was left with the colonists, and this was only based on mercantilism. Since they agreed to establish these relationships, the king gave them the authority to have the policy known as solitary neglect. So what is the significance of Jamestown? Well, Jamestown was a colony which was in Virginia, and the main goal of the colonists who came to Virginia was to find gold. But when they came here, to their surprise, there was no gold, and they focused so much, they spent their resources so much on finding gold that they didn't even focus on farming. So they were out of food, and that's what caused starvation. So you have John Rolfe, which is the savior because he discovered tobacco, and it became a very famous product, It was perfect for the climate, and that's how Jamestown survived and it became profitable. John Smith was also a very potential leader at that time who said that he who will not work will not eat. So, as that quote enforces the idea that everyone must work in order to be successful. And indeed, everyone worked, and Jamestown, as you can see, became successful once again. So, we need to understand the three major government bodies that were established in America. The first one is House of Burgesses. So, House of Burgesses is the first representative assembly in North America. It was established in 1600s, and it is a very famous example of legislative assembly. Number two is Mayflower Compact. The Mayflower Compact is just a declaration which gave the colonists the power to form their own government in America. Number three, Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. This was the first written constitution in America. So make sure you know all of them. So next we move on to Anne Hutchinson and Roger Williams. So what's similar between these two people? Well, they both belonged to the Puritan Society, and they didn't agree with their principles. The whole idea of Puritan Society was a religion and the mistreatment of Native Americans. And Roger and Anne didn't really agree with that principle, and therefore they were banished from Massachusetts, and this is when Roger Williams forms the Rhode Island colony. So John Winthrop is known for influencing Christianity in the colonies. He wanted to form a perfect role model of Christianity, a beacon of light, and he called it the City on the Hill. So, as we see European colonists coming to America, they are taking the land of Native Americans. And this is what causes the conflicts. So one of the major conflicts that you need to know is King Philip's War. So King Philip's War is going to be the last major effort by the Native Americans to try to kick out the British colonies from the colony of New England. And this all started with Columbian Exchange. And that's why we don't have any Native Americans left today, because their populations, their land was all taken away. It was destroyed by the colonists, which is really unfortunate. Next, we have William Penn, who established the colony of Pennsylvania. His ideas were very similar to that of the Dutch colonies. He wanted to promote religious tolerance. He was accepting of other people, and he belonged to the class of Quakers, which again was a class which faced religious persecution back in England. So when it came to the America, he was like, that's not happening again, and we should allow people from different backgrounds to come together to settle with each other, just to have a coherent society. Alright, that's it. EOC Review number 1. Thank you for watching.